Hello, and welcome back to Coffee Collaboration from Seattle Coffee Gear with me, your host, Clementine. Today we're going to be working on making an Aeropress coffee. Aeropress is the brew method. On top of that, we're also going to be adding in our own special ingredients to our Aeropress brew. So if you've made an Aeropress before, you may already know there's a few different ways that you can make an Aeropress. The first way, the standard way, not necessarily the most common, but the standard, is to just kind of make it upright. The way you would do that, the way you'd set it up, connect your attachment here, pretty much. Make sure you pre-wet your filter, which we have done. At this point, what you would do is you would set your Aeropress up over your cup, insert your coffee, insert about 200 milliliters of water, which would take you up to about this number 4. And then you would pretty much just press down over the top after you've let it steep for a few minutes. So this method is known to have a few issues. It can drip through a little too early before it's had time to actually extract the flavors from your coffee grounds. And then you end up with sort of a sour cup of coffee. What you can do to avoid that is push down a little bit over the top while your coffee is still steeping, and then pull up a little bit to create a vacuum seal. That will prevent the coffee from dripping before it's ready. Then once you're ready to actually have your coffee, you'd push all the way down. So the method we're going to be using today is referred to as the inverted method, which is where you take your Aeropress coffee setup and you literally invert it. So you're going to want to create that seal using your plunger. Take off your attachment, and then you can insert your coffee in through here. If we wanted to, there's a couple of different attachments that we could use. You can use the Fellow Prismo attachment, which would create more of an espresso tasting coffee, but we're going to just be using the regular attachment today. So, all right. So let's get kicking with this, and let's make our brew. I'm going to measure out 20 grams of coffee. Today we're using Ladro's Diablo blend, which is a really dark roast, which I really love. So I've got my scale ready, and I'm going to pre-measure 20 grams. You want your coffee grinds to be pretty coarse, but not as coarse as a French press. More like just a coarse, sort of a coarse sand. All right, so we've got our 20 grams. The next step in this process for us is we're going to add in our spices. So today we've set aside some vanilla extract. We've got cardamom. We've got cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon, and about a teaspoon of each, except for this one, which is a little bit, actually I think it's about a teaspoon, never mind. So you just take your ingredients and you put them up over the top of your coffee. Cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, cardamom, and vanilla. Okay, and then tear out your scale again, because we're going to add in the water at this point. When you do 20 grams of coffee, you want to do about 200 milliliters of water. So your brew method is almost like a French press, because you actually let the coffee steep with the water for a few minutes. And I'm going to let it bloom before I add in the rest of the water. You can see it's bubbling up here. It's letting the gases be expelled. It's a lot bubbling. Okay. Add in the last 50 grams of water, milliliters. Okay, so once you've got your coffee prepared, you want to let it steep for a while. So I'm going to set a timer. We're going to come back to this coffee in about 5 minutes. So stick with us. You don't have to wait the whole 5 minutes. It's going to be like 10 seconds for you. We'll be right back. All right, so welcome back. Now I'm going to go ahead and brew. We're ready. So, okay, attach your attachment to the top. Twist that puppy in here in a way that does not cause an explosion. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. And because we're doing the inverted method, my number one tip for you is put your cup on top of the tower of coffee. Because if you leave your cup on the counter, I've seen this in a lot of videos, and you try and just flip this over, you're going to get some drips, and nobody wants that because you would rather it drip into your mouth. And that wasn't hard. So that's my number one tip. Okay, so inside of our Aeropress, we've got coffee, we've got vanilla, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. So it's really quite a mixture inside there. And at this point, all you really have to do is slowly push down. Okay. Just make sure that you can see it. So just slowly push down. So it's pretty tough, and we're not done yet. It may be tempting to just put it on the floor and stand on it, you know, for some people, but I would not advise that because you can die. So, okay, great. That's about it. So, great. All right, we've got our cup of coffee. And I'll tell you right off the bat, it smells delicious. I can super smell all the spices that are inside of it, which is amazing. Oh my God. It smells really good. And it looks like a really nice cup. My one critique of the Aeropress is that I wish it came in other sizes maybe, or that you could just have more of it at a time. As you can sort of see, the cup is half full. All right, so now I'm going to drink it. Let's give it a try. Taste it. It's hot. Okay, yep, it is pretty good. Those spices come through so well. Not a coffee where the spices are buried. Not a brew method where you put in extra flavors and they somehow disappear. This brew method, you can actually experiment and see results. So experiment away. Add in your favorite flavors. Add in those spices because they will come through. And it's freaking delicious. So yeah, all right. Thanks for stopping by and sharing this cup of coffee with me. I know this is kind of a funny one. Aeropresses are such an interesting brew method. There's so many different ways that you can do it. If you have any ideas yourself, if you've had experience with making this coffee before and you'd like to share your experiences, feel free and leave comments about that, and we will see what you said. Also, if you have any ideas about what we can make in the future, let us know. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want to see more of our videos, also please subscribe. So all right, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a really great day. Thank you.